All right, welcome everyone tonight. Um, I was not planning on streaming tonight, but I got word that in Prague, a Gaia's Cradle deck has, for the fourth year in a row, made top eight, and if they win tomorrow, I think that's when the top eight occurs. It'll be the fourth year in a row that a Gaia's Cradle deck has won Eternal Weekend. So, well, obviously our rooting interests are there, um, but good luck to the other top eight competitors. I don't really, I know, I think I saw the list, but I don't think I talked to any of them, one on one personally. But good luck to all eight competitors, and congratulations to all eight competitors for making top eight and the Gaia's Cradle pilot. Do we have the list? We do. Um, it was shown on Honorog's stream. I can post it here. I don't know if I want to put them at a disadvantage in case somebody is watching this, but it was close to what I'm playing at the moment. It's probably, I want to say, like an iteration behind from what I'm playing at the moment. So they have six dorks. Um, oh, they do? Okay. So if that's the case, I'll share the list. I wasn't sure. Let me bring it up. Let me bring it up. So this was posted on Discord, but this is the list. I think it was screenshotted from Honorog's what's it called it Twitch. So shout out to Honorog, by the way. Oh, now you're saying you're pretty sure now. I hope you're sure. But long story short, a lot of the same principles. I think they might be on one less land if I counted earlier correctly. 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 20 is the Mox. I guess this is like kind of 21, 22, 23. Big thing is endurance, quad main, uh, only two Bowmasters. I personally think that's like the upper limit of how much you should be playing. I think three is you're asking to lose to Merit Lage, Death and Taxes, like Moon Stompy, some of these other decks. I think you're just playing with fire if you're playing too many Bowmasters. Not to mention your mana is weaker, right? You have more black cards. Two Grist. I'm only playing one at the moment. I think two is like perfectly fine. And if I wasn't playing the Endurance's main, I probably would be registering two. I think even the second one, the sideboard, is like reasonable. Um, Pithing Needle, obviously, your Thespian Stage tech. This is like pretty stock stand. The only card here that's not like really stock, in my opinion, is the Mindbreak Trap. I think maybe they're afraid of Storm. It's like, I don't know how good it is against creativity, but this is like, I guess it has text there as well. One Shepherd, one Queen Ranger. Queen Ranger's play by some, I think it's like reasonable. Six Dorks, like I said, I'm on eight at the moment. I think six is the bare minimum, in my opinion. Just because of how mana hungry this deck is. Gog Teague, I think obviously the two most important cards on the sideboard, Snuff Out and Thoughtseize. Snuff Out obviously even main deck good if you want it for certain metas. But I think aside from Mindbreak Trap, like most of the card choices are, pretty normal. All right. Here's what I'm playing tonight. I think I like Agent to win like I guess the green mirror if you want to talk. Like it makes your Merit Lage matchups easier. It makes your mirror matchup easier. It has text against like combo. I think this slot does a lot. Engineer is a card that I don't really like personally, but I do think there's like people who out there who are playing decks. They've been reinvigorated, pun not intended, by Legolas's quick reflexes. I don't think these decks are personally, tier one or tier two, but I think people will try them again, like Infect, for instance. And this is just a KO against those decks. They like often just scoop to this card. Uh, it's good against combo elves, it's good against breakfast. Can be good against Delver, like on some board states. Sometimes it's too slow. With again, I think because of reflexes or the temptation of it, I should say, there will be people who will be playing those decks and probably worth a slot given that I was just playing Life from the Loam as a placeholder before. Everything here is like pretty straightforward. Some people opt for the first Boseiju. I think it's fine. I wouldn't play more than one personally, but then again, try to play as stable a mana base as possible. I'm probably overly conservative, if anything. I think if you're more adventurous, obviously you could play one Boseiju. You can even play, fewer dorks. I just think we win a lot of these games that go long. I'm not too concerned about Flood, but I know some people are, and they play maybe like 6 dorks instead of the 8. I think 7 is pretty common at the moment as a for some. I think it's reasonable. I personally would play if I were recommending the deck, I would personally play at least 7 at the moment. I think 6 is probably okay if your opponent doesn't know to force your turn 1 dork, but if they do, you might be in a little bit of trouble if it's like a tempo deck and they have a certain texture of a hand, but more often than not, I feel like 95% of legacy players don't know they're supposed to do that, so it's a whole different story, but let's go get started, I guess. Like, one of, I think, the biggest questions I get for my current list is how come only one Bowmasters? Um, I just don't think it is better than any of your other green cards. So it opens you up to non-basic hate, and I don't think the benefits are worth it because it is not always good. It's like pretty bad against some decks. Again, it requires off color, uh, and I just don't think the liability is worth it. I think the second copy actually has a lot of use. I was playing 2 copies for a while, but I just wanted to reduce the fail rate of the deck, which I think my philosophy is I don't think I'm going to lose any longer game with the deck, so I just don't want to lose in the beginning, if that makes sense. Because I like drew too many black cards or cut off black, or I drew this against a Merit Lage deck, and my dog is on the table. Okay, he just got off. So that's the main reason why I'm only playing one. I just don't think you care really, like at the end of the day, about because the thing is like, sure, it has text against some of these blue decks, but like I feel like the better players will know this is not Spirit of the Labyrinth. They can actually ponder into it. And it's not that big a deal. Like obviously Brainstorm hurts, but I don't even think it's that good against Ponder, for instance. Sure. The MTG bots, they were on initiative before. I think I played them and they were on initiative last time. I would keep this anyways in the dark. Mm. Huh. Looks like scam. So one problem is I can get turned to Fiend, but that dies to Bowmasters. If I'm assuming they're gonna have a turn 2 Bowmasters play here. It's a little bit awkward. This is kind of wish I would. This is the times where I wish I had the Fauna Shaman because I can just green sun for it. But even then, you need a green creature to pitch. I think I'm just gonna play the fetch and attack. What? We have a reader. I don't even know what this does. Sure, some kind of scam, I guess. I don't know what's going on now, but I'm already regretting playing tonight. Sure. Um, so the question here is like, do I fetch basic here? I can thin. This gives me the 2. Yeah, let's just do that. I don't want to draw it. We can natural order here for Atraxa. I think I'm just gonna do. I'm gonna slam. Yeah, it's just like a no-brainer. I don't know what's going on the other side, but I'm not gonna play around force. I don't think they have it. Just reload immediately, right? Gris once. Natural order. Fetch land. Probably. Okay, there's a chance they have some kind of scam package, but I think the Fiend is overall better. Let me see. We have the Green Sun for whatever that's worth already too. Maybe we just like hope to not die. I don't know what's going on the other side, but Fiend is a better card. Let's just do that. All right. I mean, if they Caracas, they Caracas. We drew 5. I think we're pretty ahead. Sure. I don't know what's going on and like why they're playing that card, but if we win, there's an asterisk already. I don't consider this a real deck, whatever we're playing against. They want to waste us, they can. I don't think we care. What are they playing? What is 2 mana? Double Plains. Thalia, okay. Don't think we care. So the good thing, I guess, is we can play our land. We can Gris tick up alongside the yeah, I think we want to be mana efficient. We have 4 mana here. The other line is like Green Sun and double ramp. I think the Gris line is probably just better. And we have lethal next turn. It's probably already over, to be honest. I'm already thinking about next game. Yeah. I think we want Snuff Outs in this matchup. They probably have like Archon of Emeria. Plague Engineer. It's interesting, but I'm assuming Thalia gets boarded out. I'm trying to think like what is in the deck. Like, I'm assuming because they're playing that weird plane cycling card, they probably some kind of scam package. But I mean, that's like speculation. I don't know if I want to preemptively hedge against that. Otherwise, endurance is pretty bad. So let's just not hedge towards it. Like dare them to have it. Plague Engineer, like I don't. They to me strike me as an ancient tomb deck. I could be wrong. Well, actually they have Wasteland, so maybe they have Mom. I don't know, but like maybe this is safe. Shepherd, I actually don't think they're a Chalice deck now because of Thalia. I think that's pretty safe. Maybe they're like Soldier Stompy or something. I don't know. Um, this I'm trying to think. Like, what does it hit besides maybe a chalice or a Chromox? Maybe Wiltron. I don't know. It seems pretty bad. Like why not just play fetch lands? Well, I guess it pitches to Solitude. But if that's the case, yeah, they must have some splash, right? Like otherwise, I think you just play the I don't know what it's called, but the DO3, the one that's in normal initiative, to pitch to Solitude. Um, I'm trying to think. Do we want Agent? I would guess. Thank you for the subscription, Chris. Appreciate it. Actually, here are my socials once again. If you want to support me, I don't think we get cute. I think our deck's better than theirs. So they bought out the Bowmasters. I actually don't think that thing has text here. Maybe Agent does. Bowmasters, what does it hit? I don't think it hits anything really, right? I don't think Agent does. There's a chance the Force of Vigor has text. So maybe I just board that in. Not great, but I think we keep. Like, obviously, I think the ideal turn one or the opening hand has ramp and snuff out. I think that's like the ideal opener against this kind of deck. Any creature deck, really. Also, I mentioned this on my previous stream. If for some reason you're not playing four snuff outs, or before any other removal, I would strongly urge you to reconsider. I think the card is completely broken. It, and we're one of the only decks, maybe the only deck that can play four snuff out right now. I think we just take the Artisan. I think I keep seeing people ask me, "Oh, what about Dismember?" I think Dismember is miles or worse. I'm kind of glad I brought the Plague Engineer. Sure, I think they can waste that if they want. Like, we are the only deck, and it's not. There will be a time when they print a black creature we care about aside from Opposition Agent, or that's like more universal, that isn't Bowmasters that we can just ignore. And I just think it's too good not to play four. Safekeeper, that's pretty interesting. If it is, I think that's fine. Question here is, the problem is we can't protect the Grist yet because there's a Thalia and an Esper in play. They can attack with the Thalia. The Grist goes down to 2, and we plus again. Maybe that's okay. Let's do this. Sure. We take the... Sure. The nice thing is we Grist plus immediately ramp with Artisan. That's kind of my line here. Maybe not waste this. I don't know. The Eagle of the North looks really bad here. Like they're taking time off, right? Okay, that's interesting. I think here we're just gonna pay the 1 tax. That one thing is just too good not to play, I think. Sure. Nope. Take the order, take the land, take the reclaimer probably. And then we'll bash. Safekeeper looking real good here. Because it blocks against, it hedges against Caracas too. Sure. Yeah, Attrax is just unbelievable. Yeah, it's really funny if they have a Caracas. Actually, I kind of misplayed, I think. I think I should have just, well, it's hard to say because they have another Wasteland, right? Okay. They probably named the Safekeeper, to be honest. Maybe the Fiend, I don't even know. There's an argument to be made. We're supposed to pitch the Artisan, but it's very... I'm not sure about that, to be honest. Plays Wasteland. No, okay, so they're gonna name probably the Safekeeper. Okay, they mean the Garissa. I actually don't think that's what I would have named, but... Wow, okay. So, we gotta do everything we want here. I think the first thing here is we play the Reclaimer. That's kind of free. We can technically... It's kind of annoying. Actually, what am I doing? Let's just bash first and just like clear their board, right? Like that's... Alright, let's clear their board here. I forgot we boarded in a certain Haymaker against them. Goodbye. That is just obscene what we just did. I don't even like this card. It's just the problem is like people insist on playing the decks that are weak to it. So if people are gonna play the decks that are weak to it, we're just gonna like run them over. Solitude? Sure, I don't think we care. I don't think we care. And for some reason... Sure, I don't think it matters. I should have killed the Dungeoneer here, but I don't think we care, really. They probably waste the Cradle, I gotta imagine. Which person made top 8? Which part? What are you talking about? Mike. This person made top 8? Oh, why are they playing right now? Shouldn't they be resting? Yeah, I thought about that. I didn't think it'd be that relevant, but first match of the night. Cradle of EW. Yeah, somebody posted it. I guess it's not official, but it's like unofficial top 8. But what is it called? The presumed, I'll post it here in chat. The presumed top 8 is here. It's on my Discord too, for whatever that's worth. Shout out to Brady for posting it on Discord. These are the top 8 decks. Smoky Boy JFF. I played against them yesterday. I don't remember what they're on though, and I'm not gonna bother to look it up. I just recognize this name from yesterday though. Keep. I mean the seats here. I wouldn't get too hung up on that. I imagine Viverus did that because not that many people play our deck, and I think that's actually accurate. For how good I think our deck is, I think it's like really underplayed for two major reasons. I think number one, players like to match what they have online with paper, and just Gaia's Cradle for a fact is a very expensive card that only sees play in our deck and I guess a one of in Maverick. Really, I think Maverick should be playing more than that, but that's neither here nor there. The other reason why is I think there's a lot of people who have sentimental value towards Glimpse of Nature, and they just really want to make that card still work. So there's that. Which I don't I have anything against that personally. I think you play what you want. I think that's fine. Alright, turn 1, caves. So this is actually one of the reasons why I like fewer black cards made, is so that we don't accidentally lose if they go like we fetch Bayou because we're scared of the Bowmasters or Snuff Valley in our hand, and suddenly they moon us turn 1 or something. We know that they have a mountain. The question here is like, I think we have to kill this at some point. And I think because I think we have the Sneal. I think our line doesn't have a natural order hand, so I think it's just gonna have to be this. And then we hope to grist them next turn. I think they might have been on this like when I played them yesterday. I think I beat them, but like I said I didn't remember what they were on. All right. I gotta fetch now, I guess. So I think in the event our opponent like kills our thing, we just fetch basic here. The unfortunate part is actually maybe we should have fetched non-basic. Well, they could Fury us here. We don't know, right? I think there's a chance it's going to be Fury on these two. We'll get this in play first. Actually, hold on. What could they possibly have this removal? I may regret this. We'll see. I'm gonna attack with the Reclaimer and see what they do. I don't think that's main deck though, right? Like, but I mean, God, am I supposed to play around that? Oh, actually, one thing I could do is like if they try to Dead Gone, I have the other Reclaimer to pump. So there's that. So maybe that's a mistake. Well, actually, it's probably fine. I don't get a trigger here, but that's okay. We have another land anyways. I think here we have to grist kill this and then leave the reclaimer up. That way we head against Rabblemaster draw here. They fury. Like, what can we do, right? Alright, we won. Scary than it needed to be. I think the only real thing there was, like, playing around the Blood Moon, right? We can. A question I get asked is, and shout out to Matt's Olay for recommending this to me, is why do I board out Hoof in some of these matchups? It's because I don't think they can be attractive. That's the bottom line. I did this with Delver or Scam already, but I didn't make that same connection against some of these red decks, like Painter and some of these Fury decks in particular, until Matt's Ellington pointed out to me. So credit to him. I think we want the Force. I think we want... What else? Endurance, T, crime, punishment. Probably not. Engineer is like good against certain things, so I think that I like that better than endurance. It like can sweep a whole board of goblins. That's probably relevant. Let's keep. I get a little nervous about no land hands, but we have 2 draw steps and we have the snuff out. It's like pretty good otherwise. Turn 1 moon we lose obviously, but we have 2 draw steps and the hand is like otherwise pretty gas. We'll take our chances. We're up a game anyways, but if it weren't for this, I'd probably mull, but it's hard to say. As I get asked a lot, like, what do you do about mulligans for Once Upon a Time? My general rule of thumb is assume it hits. You play as if it hits, and if it doesn't, you live with it every once in a while. I mean, it's statistically supposed to hit. I think I saw like 82%, 81% of the time. We could get just like mooned here. We'll see. Could be a Rabblemaster too. Sure. Is it play? So can play lands? I don't think so, right? Oh, it can play land. Okay, sure. What did they hit? Land. It is not 88%. I have to do the math again. I can do it real time after this match, but I think it's like 82%. Oh, Once Upon a Time? I have to look. Yeah, it's for once. It's not just in general. For any land, I can see 88 being correct. I have to look. I don't remember. Like, all right, there's a second land. We gotta hit a swamp here. All right. So what do we want to do here? I think these are cards. The question is like, do we want to see these cards? Probably. Well, if we fetch here, the other one goes out. So actually, I think we fetch just because it grows Reclaimer. And remind me, Chris, afterwards. I'll do the math here on live. I think it's like 82% for Once Upon a Time, but I could be wrong. Let's just get rid of this now. Actually, I messed up. I'm supposed to do it on attacks. It didn't matter, I guess. Ooh, okay. So the question here is, do I play the oof or the force? I think we keep the force for something else. Maybe they try to kill and we force it on response. Just like cut their mana. Okay, that's easy enough. Let's do it in real time here. Obviously, I have it saved here. Population size. Let's start for the opening hand. That's 60. Number of successes is 16 for my build. The non-sources are 4 Cradles, 2 Arbors. That's 6, and then 1 Bog. Sample size is 1. Success 1 for IMS. It's about 90%, right? Greater or equal to. Alright, now for Once Upon a Time. So, 53, number of successes, let's keep it at 16. Sample size is 5. Okay, higher than I thought. About 84, 85%. So, with 16. It's lower, obviously, if you have, like... Actually, let's do black sources, because I think people will be curious about that, right? So, 60... I guess if you want turn 1 snuff out, right? Like, my list has 13, I think. Because 11 fetches 2 Bayou. It's about 84. Now, if you do it here, still that. It's only 77, so not great, right? Like, I want to hit turn 1 seize, turn 1 snuff out all the time. So, like, I think 3/4 of the time is like reasonable. I don't want to go any lower than that. Like, this is already a little shaky in my opinion. But that's enough math for today, I guess. Yeah, no problem. I mean, I didn't do anything special. Like, I just went to the website. As long as you understand the principles behind, like, I'm too lazy to derive it now at this age of my. All right. They're likely on Doomsday. The problem is, like, this is just such a sketch hand. Sure, this pitches the endurance, and if they're on Doomsday, this is fine. I'm gonna play as if I don't know what they're on, and I would not keep this in the dark. So, sure. We'll see what Pikachu is on. Kevin. Looks like Delver. See, I would have got punished, right? Like, I'm assuming opponent's on Doomsday. Sure. We're gonna slam this almost certainly. I get asked a lot, like, do you play around days? Almost never. I think you lose more because you do that than you didn't. It obviously context matters too. Like, if I have a 4-drop and I can wait a turn, then I'll wait a turn. But ideally, we draw a creature here. That's a creature, but not the one we want. They would just bog. There's nothing else to do. Ugh. We run this out. I don't think I want to run into Daze with 2 open mana here. I think I want to waste their mana. So if they do Daze my Endurance, then at least they don't have mana here, right? Well, I guess they Seek the Beast. That's fine. Actually, hold on. Okay, they have Wasteland and Delver. That's fine. Sure. One downside is the Grist. We can't cast the Grist if they waste us here. But I think I want to be able to protect the Grist anyways, given that they're already pretty close to Delirium. I think we play this. They're tapped out right now. I think I just want to main phase this. I don't want them to brainstorm into something relevant. I think one of the best things they can do against us right now is a Borrower, maybe, to push damage. They could opt to trade too, but that's not great. Whoa, they drew the Force. Yeah, that's pretty clutch. Yeah, unfortunately, like, we're not that ahead though. It's pretty even. I guess it favors us, like, now. They don't have green cards or green land. Sure. I actually think Questing Druid is quite bad against us. It's like 2 mana, do nothing, like, or like, not do nothing, but you know what I mean. We're just like 1 natural order from just winning this game outright. I think it's just slow, personally, but that's me. It becomes a 3. I don't think we want to trade here. You would trade one for one on the Aberration. I don't think that's worth it. Hey, Ed, how's it going? Yeah. So that's the thing, right? It's not that aggro, and you just give the other opponent a ton of time. Uh, Usually, maybe not in this specific case. Anytime my opponent has cast Questing Druid, in my mind, I've won the game. Like, you just cast an irrelevant card against me. Like, we're just like hoping to top deck natural order now. Even Green Sun is just like debilitating for them. Like, we get another endurance, I think they just lose, right? Like, the first endurance is already really shaky. Like, they're probably up against the ropes. The second one is almost always good game. All right. I think we want. Well, it's hard because we top deck endurance. We want to get rid of the DRC. Let's do that. So they can't like dig. That is not good. All right, I think that is game. We lost the bog already. It's too bad. We did. It's 5 deep, and we have 4 endurance. Granted, 1 is gone in the yard. Yeah. So this is generally speaking how we lose. We would have been down to. Well, it's hard to say, right? Like we have another turn. I'm not gonna look what it is. We're just hoping to top deck green sun or natural order, we just didn't. Sometimes it does happen. I still feel pretty good about this matchup for what it's worth. I think like the hands that they have are not that common, where they have like triple delver start essentially. So that can happen, but for the most part, I feel pretty good about this matchup. Obviously, you can lose, but um, overall, like I said, I think this matchup's pretty good. The one crime punishment punishes, pun not intended, our opponent for just spitting out 1 drops there. We did also mull for what it's worth, which is a thing. Keep. I think we just want to not consistently, safely get to turn 2, turn 3 endurance, or turn 3 endurance, and we probably are in a good spot. Bulk probably. I don't bring it in. I did get a crime my painter opponent with Fury, and that just like won the game on the spot. But that's a whole different animal. I actually haven't played Crime Punishment for too long, and I've actually only cast it once. And ironically, not even the punishment side, but the crime side. But like I said, it won the game on the spot. I trigger. I think they saw this. Let's go ahead and just like, safely deploy our mana here. I don't want to run endurance into days if I don't need to. They have to answer the fiend anyways, in my opinion. Like, while not always true, I think a high percentage of the time, if you attack with Artisan, outside of misplays, you're supposed to win the game. Like, otherwise, why play the card, right? Heat? Sure. Yeah. I think the first thing we're gonna do here is like main phase endurance, nuke their yard so they can't like Murktide us. Not to mention it plays defense for the following turn. So with this deck, you have to plan usually 2 moves, 2 turns in advance, so you can protect your Grist, right? That has text, but not at the moment. Main phase this. Might draw out Force, yeah. Bash for 2, and then next step, hope to untap with Grist. This is also why sometimes I don't like this card. Like it's very situational against Delver. Also, the thing is, this is why I don't like Bowmasters. Actually, I think it's like worse than your other cards against Delver because like they have an aberration. You can't really just wait around, so to speak, right? I think we engineer now. Nice. Actually, I think the mistake I made. Probably gonna regret it, but I think I'm supposed to just snuff out now. But yeah, I was gonna be mad if I lost to Pierce or Flusterstorm. That's a sequencing mistake by me. Yeah, I'm supposed to snuff out first, and then I'm supposed to snuff out first and then Gris. It's not Gris, and then attack. So here they Murktide here. We have the answer. Obviously, if they have Force, then we'd probably just lose. I think attack first. If they want to block, they can block. Two Delvers are gone. I think it's this. F6. Is this a human? Yes, it is. Nice. Are the various tempo builds you argue that there, or do they all play out about the same from your point? No, it's a little bit different. I think the rug is supposed to be the best matchup because they're the slowest. I think blue red is probably the hardest because they're the fastest. So it is a little bit different. I don't think there's reason to play this fetch out here. The thinning doesn't really matter. There's no way they attack, right? Yeah. Why are they playing Portent? I don't understand that. Like, I must be missing something. Why are they playing Portent in their deck? Seems awful to me. Was fetch worth it for Arbor? I don't think so. Not a 6. I mean, not a 7. Also, we have the Shepherd, so unless they have double removal, um, we're still gonna be attacking for the lethal next turn. I think if they somehow answer this, then we play out the fetch. But that's a whole different story. But yeah, it doesn't really make any sense to me why they're playing important. I must be missing something. I'm sure it's for a reason. I just can't think. Like I used to remember like Terminus right after Top got banned, but I don't know. I'm trying to think why they would play that card, and it doesn't really make sense to me. Sure, it's actually pretty solid. I love turn one snuff out, like kill your thing, play my thing. Probably DRC. Yep. We're gonna go fetch into once into snuff into dork. Get out your mind break traps, right? I think here we want to go turn two artisan. Oops, almost screwed that up. Who says this does a storm off, right? Triple spell on one turn? Maybe it's the days, I don't know. That's why Snuff Out's so good. Like, suddenly we're on the play, right? Sure. I don't think we want to run the endurance into days here. Well, maybe we have two. But probably still not. I think we just do that. So, question here is like, I think I want to do it on their upkeep. Play around, like drawing in force or days. We can play around 2 days now, points at forehead. I don't know what you're saying. That's a little concerning. That might have been bad to fetch that. Jesus Christ. Well, now we're just dead. Holy shit. Alright. What's our next card? didn't matter. We're dead anyways. Yeah, I think this is how we lose, right? Like, they have the no cantrip, like, double delver start. And like I said, if they play questing druid, I think we win. Like, this is generally how we lose. And they had triple DRC. We dealt with one, and unfortunately, we couldn't get one endurance to stick. But it is what it is, right? I have to check something. We opted to play Fiend on 2, and then they played Cage, put 2 things in the yard. Maybe they had the days the whole time, maybe they didn't. But if there's a chance the DRC just drove into the days, and then they had the force, sometimes that happens. It is what it is. I think the bigger thing is, I think game 1, I think we might have hit the fail. We mulled, so that there's that. Sucks to lose to Delver. I was running pretty hot against Delver. I think I can't remember before this. I had lost one match because something similar happened, but otherwise had won. I don't know, something like half a dozen games in a row or something. Sure. People ask me why I play 8 dorks. The last game we just had right now is the reason why. Is because you just want to turn off all their dazes. I have to look again at the last game. You want to go Hierarch or Artisan? I think we gotta go Hierarch here. Turn 1 Reclaimer is okay. It's not ideal though. We're assuming the first thing gets killed too. I would, and maybe if it was next year, I would, but I can't this year. I thought, baby's still too young. Why would I take Fiend there? I want to play 1-drops, and to me, making mana is more important than the payoff. The payoff's what you just draw into them normally. Cause you go turn 2 Fiend, but then you don't have any pitch, right? Because I'm assuming the first thing's gonna get killed. And what are they gonna do? Allow Reclaimer to live? I mean, your dorks? They shouldn't. It's interesting they went Arbor. It's almost like they're on what is that deck? Blue Zenith, which I think is really a worse version of our deck. Four cards. What are the chances they have Force? I don't think they're gonna force any. Well, maybe they will. I don't know. They're tapped out. Maybe they dig for something else. I don't think they're gonna force an endurance in most situations. So I'm just gonna jam and we'll see what happens. They have it, they have it. Land. N-O Fiend. Sure. That's also why we take Reclaimer there, right? Like, we just we can. There's so many ways to turn on Natural Order earlier. We can waste the Cradle. I actually think that's a good thing if they do that. Leyline Binding on the Atraxa, sure. I don't think we care really. Maybe they waste the Cradle. We continue to bash. Maybe they force that. I don't know. Our next turn is probably Endurance. And then Bash again. Burrow maybe? Green Sun. Oh my god. They have their own? That's not good. Well, what can we do? I think we lost now. I'm trying to think if we could have done anything different. I feel like probably not. We're at a slight disadvantage game one because we main deck Endurance. Like, that's part of the price we pay for being better against combo. I don't think our opponent's ever beating combo, but that's a different story. Let me think. What do they get? They got Earl. Did they keep the Ponder? No, they kept the Green Sun. Endurance. No. Sanctuary. No. Leyline Binding. Swords. Witherbloom Command. No. It's like that, I guess. Those are the 5 cards. They go to 18, and unfortunately we cannot deal with this yet. And not to mention they have a Swords coming down. That's going to be problematic. They're probably going to Swords the Fiend Artisan. On the stack, we're going to make an Arbor. We don't have lethal with Natural Order, but we probably can at some point deal with the Atraxa. The problem is the Green Sun can get a Grist too. Dang, that opposing Natural Order pretty good there. Sure. So they can actually go double removal here. What is going on? Interesting. Why did they swords are binding our... So we don't have lethal because of the Atraxa, but we can kill the Atraxa. I don't think we want to give our opponent a chance to respond since they screwed up. It's a little bit awkward though because I need to kill this and then... Fortunately, they have the Earl coming down too. Maybe we are supposed to just ignore it. What does Fiend get here that I would be interested in? I'm not sure much, to be honest. Let's see what they do about this, first of all. We can't kill this turn. We have to do it next turn. No, we're just passing this. We have to try to go wide here. If I'm binding the... It's got to be the artisan, right? It doesn't make any sense otherwise. Oh, they can't cast binding because I just realized they're missing the last one, yeah. Otherwise it would be for 3 mana. Sure. Take the Fiend here. We go to 7. Oh my god, that's not what I want to see. Man, opposing match order. Am I supposed to play around that? I think we're just probably too low now. We can't one-shot them anymore. We can natural order kill the thing, but I don't see how we're winning this game. It's always embarrassing to lose when we resolve Atraxa, but this is a big reason why. We drew the wrong part of our deck. I think this is a snuff out matchup. I think we just want to go faster and make sure they can't have dorks. It's kind of annoying. There's a chance I'm supposed to... I feel like Snowbout's probably better than Seas, but... do we want this? Maybe not. I think we want the Shepherd. Actually, Agent is really good in this matchup. I think Engineer, maybe not, because we saw Halflings. They had an Arbor. I don't like Teague at all, for what it's worth. Engineer, maybe it's okay. I don't even, they probably have all X2s, to be honest. Or see you, Chris. Agent's definitely good. I don't know if we want Engineer too. Probably not. I think this is probably fine. The only creature that we saw was the Arbor that can hit. I feel like they're the type that probably doesn't play any other targets besides Arbor. Why? We have the key, but it's not ideal. I think we go turn 2 Artisan here. Is there any reason to expose the Cradle? They're a Wasteland deck. Yeah, I think we do. Make them have it. Like, removal. It looks like it's gonna be a binding here on the Artisan. Leyline binding actually has made the control matchups a little bit harder because Gris is not as good. I actually think Beans is kind of weak against us because our game plan doesn't involve going late against them anyways. But that's... Turbo Dank. I think Gris is already a cutie. She's a queen, right? Of insects. The Snuff Out eye is like looking real bad right now. I didn't play the hoof there because it was just a single attacker. This is looking quite bad now. Actually, I think we have to do it now. This feels awful, but I think they have natural, we lose. I think game 3, I think we want C's. I think they have the force. I think we're probably gonna lose this game for what it's worth. My read is they're gonna have force right now, and I think we misboarded. It's gotta be force, right? Or brainstorm, maybe digging for force. The problem is I didn't really know their version, and I think we're gonna die here. If we had C's, this game looks very different. Yeah. Yeah, I think in hindsight, we should have taken C's because C's can take the natural order too. I think I overthought it by taking the snuff out for their dorks. I don't know how many dorks they're running, but they got us. We misboarded as a result. Interesting. They may kill this right now with a sugar on the stack. Because some people are playing as if we have reflexes. So that's a thing. Alright, what do they have here? Once upon a time, I think, take the natural order, land, Gris, and mate. I think we have to Gris kill their Gris. Do we want agent here? We can't cast agent anyways. It's probably that. We played a land yet? No, we did not. I think we attack first, see what they do. I think we kill the Ramana. They pull. Actually, I think we might. Well, they're both annoying. We're gonna lose our Gris, but that's okay. Do they have a flash creature? I wonder. Uh, in what way? Not that I'm aware of. They have blockers, right? Like the Shepard doesn't pump everything for what it's worth. If that's what you're thinking. Mm, question here is what do we get? Maybe a second artisan? I think they have. Well, one sanctuary is gone. Uh-oh. Game for life. I think we won or lost because we have no way to win now. I think the loss in this game was misboarding. I think we won probably Thoughtseize going forward. I think we got too cute with boarding in the Snuff House. Sure. Yeah, that's game. Like the problem is like we have no more outs. Right? Atraxa was the last one. I don't think we're gonna break through, so I'm just gonna concede. There's no way to. We don't have the one endurance to recycle our deck. Nor do I think it's worth it. Yeah, I think if I were to play it again, I would probably just swap C's for Snuff Out. But I actually think that's what I normally do too, and I don't know why. Maybe because they're Yorion, I'm used to like the 60 card pile. Like my sideboard map even says to bring in C's, but I thought maybe because I think it's because they play natural order and that kind of threw me off. But I think even without natural order, we just want to see and just if anything, just take their natural order, even if it costs us 1 mana. So that's live and learn, right? Sucks to start 2-0 and then lose the last two, but you know, it is what it is. C-Lar 22. I don't really want to keep this because one dead card, one situational card. If they're on combo, then this becomes better. If they're not, I really hate go to 6. On a 6, the problem is, would I keep this on a 6? Probably. Let's just try for science. I don't, like, maybe this wins the game. I don't know. They're at 5. That's kind of good. At the same time, aggressive mulliganing scares me because combo comes to mind. In general, I don't love this kind of hand, but you know, let's see what they have. I think we went 0-2 in the last game, right? Yeah, and then we lost this Delria, which unfortunate. Actually I forgot that I want to look over again what happened game 2. Game 1, which is like got triple Delver starting mold, so there's that. The collector move actually looks a lot better, and the natural order actually now looks pretty good against them. I think they're on probably Moonstop or Initiative. Let's do this. I think we want the basic. If for some reason our opponent is on Initiative, I want to leave with a Bayou. Because of Archon of Emeria. Okay, I think they are on 8 cast now. There is a chance this just wins the game on the spot, so I'm just gonna go for the KO. I don't know what they're on, but like this feels like it's probably pretty good now. The other line would be to ramp with a green sun so we can natural order next turn, but if they force the ramp, then that's pretty bad for us, right? It feels like they're on some kind of, I don't know. Now I'm like kind of confused. I think we main phase this. They force. I think that's okay. This is gonna be a 2-2. They probably auto block the collector oof. I think we're just gonna force our stuff through. F6. I think the game is probably over. Just F6. I don't think we care. Our line here is we're gonna Reclaimer for our Arbor, and then pitch to the National and just deep go for lethal. I think the one thing that could screw us up here is like main deck Cage for some reason. Needle is probably naming Reclaimer or Shepherd. Probably Shepherd actually on this board state. Yeah. I think we randomly have lethal too. Like, I think they're on. This gives away. I think they're on 8 cast. I think probably shouldn't have done that. Is there any reason to get cute? We're just we have like full information, right? Just save time. So they're on 8 cast. This is hopefully we can find cast the crime punishment. I think needle is okay. I hate all of these. Uh, agent's probably fine. This is probably okay, like as a one-off. I actually don't like Snuff Out anymore in this matchup because they're playing the Patchwork Automaton, and just Ward is like pretty good against it. I don't want to pay extra mana if I don't have to. So, and I think they board out Emery against us, so I'm just gonna counter that by just not bringing in Snuff Outs. We have turn 2 Collector Oof, so I like that. We do have to hit. We have 2 draws to hit a land, so I also am okay with the percentages there. It looks like it might be a Cannoneer hand, the way they're playing. Emery maybe. Nope. What's going on? No, I think given that they just bobbled us, I know it's probably a Cannoneer hand. So we missed on the first land. We can still potentially have turn 2 Collector Oof, but we'll see. There is a line here where we're probably going to go, if we miss a land drop, Shepherd into Noble, and then the following turn, Safekeeper into Collector Oof. I think the game might be already over. Our opponent, it's turn 3, and they have no pressure so far. Feels like they have a Dismember on the other side. Maybe they dismember the, yeah, it feels like they have to dismember the other side. The Cannoneer here, I don't think we care. Actually, we might care, but we'll see. The sequencing here is probably going to be Safekeeper into Collector, Green Sun for 2. And they have Force mana up. Not that it really matters, but this is probably going to force a response here. We'll see. This is kind of obnoxious, what we have, our board state here. The game might, that's probably game over. I don't see how they break out of this outside of like Dress Down, which I don't think they play, because it hurts them. They could have Hull Breacher here, but am I trying to attack into a Hull Breacher here? I don't actually think we care if our stuff gets countered anymore. They probably have force in hand, so they probably force the artisan. But I'm not, again, I'm not sure we care. Let's have a second one. Yeah, okay, that was lopsided. It's probably even better for us not to attack there, but I'm just playing with our food, I guess. Um, Not. I think the safekeeper there is like pretty obscene, right? Like protecting the collective. I like where this is. As respect to the deck, let's check out this game three. What happened here? We lost to that other one. We misboarded. I think that's fine. I'm not too concerned. Here this is fine. They're on the play. They go. I think we take the fiend. Snuff into ramp. Okay, so far so good. Like I don't hate that. Yeah, see, this is the hard part, right? Triple delvers start, more or less, right? We could run the endurance in today's here. I'm just not sure it's worth it here. When we can just run artisan, they kind of have to deal with it. This is the real killer, actually. Like, if not for the cage, we can just like sweep and get plague engineer. So really, it's the cage that's kind of problematic. And I think given that we have back-to-back endurances here now, we probably have to run the endurances into the days. One thing that we might have, I think one thing that we potentially we want to do was actually allow them to draw the card so that they can't just bin it for the DRC. What that does is they may not have hit the ponder, or they already have the ponder, but it's a little bit harder. That was pretty obscene though. And then here we get it force. So I think the mistake was, now that I'm watching it back, I think the mistake was, given that they have two DRCs, I don't think I think, and given that we have two endurances, we can actually play around the top deck, and we just screw up their draws. So we go to the draw phase, and then endurance them. So that was a mistake on my behalf. I think looking back in hindsight. Okay, so it's good that we reviewed this. I think that's very minor and easy to miss, but yeah, I don't think we want to turn on their double DRCs on upkeep because they get to. Mm, I don't love it for what it's worth. Like it just feels like we're down a card. You know what I mean? I don't love it. Yeah, the green sun is dead already. There is that. But the problem is, it's still a zero. Assuming this is already dead, it's still a 0 for 1, right? Like, possible we can trade with the DRC. There is some merit to that. Like, we evoke it, block. Then maybe it's 1 for 1, a 2 for 2, right? Or 1 for 1. We're eating the DRC. If they both the Phenars, it's a lot worse. But you can't have everything. But I do think upkeep endurance there was wrong. So that's kind of a big mistake. Um, I don't think we reviewed game one. I don't think we did anything wrong. What I would change here, man, losing to a cage makes me want that Boseiju again. But again, I hate Boseiju. Also, for what it's worth, hitting the leyline binding on Atraxa probably maybe okay. I keep going back and forth on this, but oops. Like, if I want to be results oriented, which don't be, but where's the first Beseju? Maybe I hate it so much I got rid of it already. It's hard to say, but maybe one Beseju here. It's like reasonable as a second disenchant, right? Everything else I think felt like it was pretty good. If we want, I think the actually the Safekeeper looked pretty good, right? Especially like the first few Stompy matchups against it protected Atraxa. So pretty happy with this inclusion. I think the hierarchs were good. Obviously, there's some variance to endurance main deck, but I think that's the price we pay because this is like the green force or the closest thing we can approximate to it. Everything else I think was okay. Maybe we want the first Beseju. I think Engineer was like KO'd one deck. Agent's probably fine. Macabre, I think it's okay. Everything else is probably reasonable, and then maybe we just swap for one Beseju as a get out of jail free, right? It's too bad we don't have it here. I could swap it out, and then obviously you have to have it in hand, but the first one also, so they have to play around, is like pretty neat. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break. Maybe we'll play some additional matches after this, just for fun. I'll be right back. Here are my socials again. Hey, Icy, how's it going? All right, I'm back. I thought about it while using the restroom. It's okay. I thought about it using the restroom. I lost there because of misplay, so the onus on me is just to get better, so to speak, right? So I don't want to blame that on not having the Beseju. I want to run this exact list back, My wife actually joked because I mentioned I'm gonna play a few more matches. I was originally gonna play one match, not one match, one league tonight. But she joked, having a bad league because why else would I be playing more, right? Like that's the gotta win it back all mentality, right? That a gambler myself might have. So we'll run it back. I think the list is fine. What's it called? We didn't play the best for what it's for what it's. We made a mistake round three, and I think with this deck or just in general, I just want to play cleanly. So I don't want to make changes because user error, so to speak, right? And then the other one I misboarded against my better judgment because even my sideboard map, I'll even bring it up here so there's proof. Here we go. Yeah, see, I'm supposed to board out against Blue Zenith, board into the four Thought Seizes, and I don't know, maybe the natural order like threw me off, if you want to call it that. Yeah, yeah. I think the big takeaway, besides just I need to play better, is Safekeeper looked pretty good in that league. Certainly better than like a Fauna Shaman probably would have been. Fiend. One nice thing I like about Safekeeper is it actually plays well with the fact that we hit all our land drops. Mm-hmm. It's funny how people do this now because of Bowmasters, and we're like one step ahead. We just got cut our Bowmasters because people are doing that. Might draw a force here. Interesting that they did that. I feel like we've already won, right? Might be a Doomsday. Pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. Here we don't have any mana. I'm just gonna like. I don't care to like get Bowmasters on empty board. I just want to prioritize getting mana and just like ramp out, right? Like we have like a lot of squares, so to speak, and our opponent has one. One thing I like about Phenar's Endurance main deck too is like if they try to Bowmasters here, we're just gonna Endurance. Sure, that's interesting. I wonder why our opponent would have done that. I don't think our opponent is playing optimally. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That cannot be right to run out the illusion. Unless they have both parts. That's the only explanation. If they do, we at least have Reclaimer up. Sure. I mean, they have to answer the Artisan, like, literally right now. Yeah, that cannot be right. I'm just gonna chalk it up. I think this is an asterisk game for what it's worth. I don't think my opponents. Maybe they're learning the deck. I don't know. That cannot be right. The game's now over. It doesn't really matter. Just win more, I guess. Yeah. Again, asterisk on this game. I don't think it counts. Um. Yeah. Again, like, take it with a grain of salt, right? Like, if we win, I'm not gonna put too much weight on this game because I think my opponent is probably like new to the deck. If I were to guess. This is one matchup where like Plague Engineer happens to be really solid. Force, Needle, Crime, Punishment. Is that? Let me see if I board that in. We have the glitch right here. This Snuff Out is already in, but you can't see it. Actually, Seize is in too. Shepherd doesn't do anything. Cephalid Breakfast, yeah, board that out. I actually board out Fiend, which is like surprising to hear, but hear me out. The idea is this is like a late game engine, right? Like, uh, we're not gonna have mana up early to get Fiend to get Plague Engineer. Okay, we're supposed to board in this is a mulligan. Ugh. Actually, cancel. I think it's like that. Hey, TZ Verubin. Thanks. I wasn't me who top 8. I'm not playing Eternal Weekend this year. Not to mention it's in Europe for this weekend, but we had another Cradle player top 8. So that's 4 years in a row. And if they win tomorrow, a Cradle deck would have won Eternal Weekend for 4 straight years, which is pretty nuts. I think we take the Fairy Macabre. It's just like too good, right? Especially since I don't think they have like hand disruption either. Outside of like I guess one therapy, right? We're gonna go like they're probably on the fair plan if we have this card. This is like kind of insane against them. Sure. I think our next turn is gonna be Hierarch into Reclaimer. I think the big sad here is we mold a 5. Again, I don't understand the main phase brainstorms here. Um, let's just chalk it up to inexperience on the other side. Here sequencing matters because if for some reason they want a daze, I'd rather the hierarchy daze than the reclaimer. I think here we just put the reclaimer down and they have to deal with it now. Sure. They can, but it's hard. They need to have natural Oracle. It's a 3-card combo. Right? It's just like they can, but it's very hard. I think I've had it done to me once, but again, like I said, it's very difficult. I think here we are just gonna go for the lock piece, right? Like Fiend Artisan to just grind our opponents. Alright, that makes sense. That they would force that. We'll bash. They're out of forces. The reason why I board out Shepard in this matchup is because all our relevant cards are black, so it does. She doesn't even protect it. So that's the idea behind that, for its worth. I think we bash here. We're not gonna play around flash creatures out of this deck that shouldn't have it. Yeah, they could do that. The odds will be against them, but that is an out. Chat, maybe? Oh, sure. I don't really care. We're pretty ahead. The therapy plan also requires that they have a they have to have a hit a narcometer of a as well, for what's worth. I think here we are going to start the aggro game plan. Lair with Hierarch is kind of obscene, as you will see. There's an argument to be made. Well, actually, no. Sure. This game is already over, in my opinion. Yeah. All right. I don't think we learn anything from this matchup right now. I'm not sure how much more I'm gonna play. I don't want to get into a habit of just like pushing the limits too much. Since I have to wake up early due to the baby as well. So I know was the last stream, maybe 2 streams ago. I don't remember what it was, where I played essentially a second league, and I don't think I want to do that. We'll play it by ear though. It wasn't the last stream because I think the last stream I lost the 5-0 match, but so I was probably happy with that. Maybe this is the last match tonight. We'll see. I have to take the dog out too, so not to mention again, I have quite a few things I want to do tomorrow. Don't want to stay up too late. I think ideally we put pair into Delver and then we like end the night strong. Let's see. Here are my socials again. I'm just gonna go ahead and just this is like fine. If they're Reanimator or Doomsday, then we're happy. The one's probably gonna pitch the Endurance. Man, this is all bad. I think the weakness of our deck is we will inevitably draw the natural warrior targets or Green Sun targets. If we could somehow guarantee we never did, that would be nice, but probably. So I don't think I want to run like something relevant into days. Like I certainly don't want to run the Endurance into a days right here if they're Delver. So I think ideally we draw another 1-drop and then we just triple spell here on turn 2. It is the price we pay. Reclaimer's a pretty nice consolation prize, but it doesn't solve everything, right? We play this. We're not going to give free days targets here. You'd probably bolt the Reclaimer, I'd have to imagine. And then that will price us into maybe Endurance into once, assuming our top pick doesn't matter. Alright, it looks to me like they're going to go, yeah, DRC into Bolt here on the Reclaimer. Excuse me. I'm going to pass here. They have 5 cards in hand. I think I want to get extra value off the Endurance, and then they can draw one if they want. They can't cast Murktide immediately. And we're representing Bowmasters too, so that's pretty nice. I think we don't want them to find the days or the force here, so we're just gonna do it in response and see what they do. Interesting. They have a wasteland here. Maybe they probably waste my arbor. We're gonna run the once into a daze. If they want a daze, if they can. I don't think we care. I really don't think we can afford to waste mana is the reason. That's an easy get. Maybe they waste the arbor now. I don't see why they wouldn't. Yeah, they should. I think we're in pretty good position here. Even if they Murktide us here, we have the out. Oh, Gibbs. So they have the three big ones, or easy ones. Well, if they Merc, we probably have to get Gris. But, well, sure, we can actually take one shot. Is that what you're saying? The problem is, if they Merc into Borrower, then we probably lose. But I don't know if we're playing around two different things. I think an untap already means our opponent is like way behind. But a lot of it's contextual too. Like how many cards they have in your hand. Obviously, they waste waste our Guy's Cradle too. Excuse me. Feels like Bowmaster is going to hit our hierarchy here. Oh, actually no, it's Murktide Regent. You got to be kidding me. Main deck Dismember. Okay, now I feel a lot worse about our situation. Man, exactly at 5 too. That's pretty brutal. That, man, that's annoying. I was told you're not supposed to lose with, you know, a 4/4 Fiend Artisan. No, we might. going on? My opponent, like... Oh my god, what the heck is going on? The main deck's not is like a one of usually. This is more unlikely, but I don't know what is going on here. I thought this game was probably safely in our hands, but maybe not anymore. It's now hanging in the balance. Oh my god. Please let us have an endurance right now. What is going on? Knowing our luck, they're gonna Murktide right now. Like this, that's the way this game has been going. I thought we were about to turn the corner this game. Also, I want royalties on the snuff out, right? Like, oh my god, really? Jesus Christ. As the first person besides ninjas and a turn late. First person besides ninjas and Shadow to play it, and then during the initiative era, and then a lot of decks followed suit. I think we're gonna lose now, but you know, I cannot believe they have the main decks dismembered. I don't know if that's like normal, but we gotta fade a lot of things. If they have a Bowmaster, we probably just lose, right? They don't have the Bowmaster because they would have played it instead. We gotta fade Bolt too. They have 2 in the yard already. Oh my god. Like a sneeze and we lose here. Heart of the cards. Can we get there? Oh my goodness. What is going on? Alright, I guess that is it. Weird. Man. Unfortunate. What is going on today? Why are we losing to tempo? Alright, I guess we got to win 2, you know, post-board games. That's doable, but now, like, a little margin for error. Kind of unfortunate. I don't have to look at the game, how this game lined up. How did we fall behind? I thought we were in a good spot. The dismember was out of nowhere. We were even on the play. Alright, turn 2, and then we played 2 dorks. Reclaimer and Ignoble. They bolted our Reclaimer, sure. And then they ponder. They chose not to shuffle with the ponder. And then they forced the endurance, sure. And they wasted and bolted, Jesus. And then they even had, oh my goodness, they even had a dismember for, like they just lined up, I guess, for them. Keep. Probably getting a land here. Oh, that's not what I want. That is not what I want. There's merit to taking taking the cradle here for what it's worth. Just as another land drop. Because there is a scenario, well... feels bad. I think we take it. I don't love it for what it's worth, but I think we have to take the land there. I think the way we get punished here is they waste our lair and we're stuck with 2 cradles. Turn 1 bauble is good, I guess. What is going on here? Cage? Why is everybody playing Cage at the moment? Jeez. I'm trying to think, what am I missing? Why are there multiple cages tonight? What am I missing? Why are people playing multiple cages tonight? Does it stop adventures? Yes. No. Sorry. The other card stops adventures. Soulless Jailer. It's also tilting my opponent's 5 minutes behind already. No, Grixis over. Why they're playing Cage, I'm not sure, but it's quite effective against us. I guess we can sack, like in response for some, if it matters. I imagine the Safekeeper is kind of a nightmare for our opponent right now. That's what I imagined. We're probably gonna animate, just start bashing every turn now. We don't have a better play, unfortunately. Maybe it's a Bowmasters, yeah. Hard to say. The the Cradle is like kind of turned off already because of the cage, which is kind of obnoxious, but it's times like this where I wish I had the Terrace under that can answer like a sideboard cage. Um, the crime and whatever punishment can't answer it, but then I lose my board. Boseiju obviously is a thing too, but then you have to like have it line up, which is not a given. Sometimes I just personally the way it's built, I just accept losing the cage, but maybe here it's kind of annoying. It's like back to back now. I'm just curious what's going on, why people are playing cage. Sure. I don't think we want that. I think we pitch the Cradle. Actually, we might pitch the Lair. Actually, cancel. Yeah, let's pitch the Lair. Turning off the token is like pretty huge. I think we want to fetch here. Maybe they chump, I don't know. Do I fetch? Yeah, I think I do. This is kind of obscene, actually, what we're doing. Do we care? I actually don't think we do. Just empty our yard if need be. This is kind of obscene what we're doing with the Safekeeper right now. Just like throwing excess lands into like locking up their removal. And we don't care anymore because the cage out anyways, right? Maybe they Murktide us here, but even then, like... Okay, they can waste us, I guess. I think in response, we gotta protect that. So they Murktide here, it's only a 6/6. And our thing is bigger. That's like really funny. They're gonna chump for sure with the Delver, but bash for... They could double block, I guess, but I don't know if they will or not. I think Safekeeper looked pretty good this game, personally. I mean, granted, part of it was because we didn't care about our lands anymore because of the cage, but still. I think the fact that it's low to the ground is like pretty important. And our opponent's just like, WTF is going on? Like, why can't we kill their stuff? Yeah, they have the block now? That's a little awkward. This is kind of obscene. And then now, actually, because they did that, I'm just gonna go ahead and kill the Murktide Regent. That's game now. This looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, in this game right now. For a deck that floods a lot, this is like pretty useful. Oh my god, I don't love it. I think I have to keep, but begrudgingly. This hand is like asking to lose to certain hands of theirs. But I feel like I have to keep this hand. I know, right, Max? Thank goodness. That's much welcome sight here. Oh my god, really? Hey Ramar, how's it going? Now I think I lost. That's what I get for keeping that hand, but it is what it is. Maybe I'm supposed. I'm probably supposed to mold that hand. Like I thought for sure they would lead with turn one, DRC or Delver, but I don't know. Our opponent has. They're gonna bolt this, and we're in trouble. I think their hand is a Murktide hand. It's like frustrating to lose this. It's my fault though. Like I should not have kept this hand. It's like pretty bad, and I just got stubborn. They're gonna Murktide us here. Well, actually, I should have forced. It's too late though. Not playing well. Like I'm supposed to endurance pitch endurance there, and then because we're not gonna cast it for a while anyways. I'm just like punting left and right. What are these hands from our opponent though? I'm so mad at myself right now. Like they would have no clock otherwise, but now we're just in a lot of trouble. That's on me. Like I know better than to keep that hand, and I kept it just because of the endurance, and then just I've been punished before and got punished again. I'm pretty sure we're dead here. They probably have bolt, and okay, they have force anyways, so it didn't matter. God. I think I win this game actually if I endurance, but that's a whole different story. Just I'm mad at myself right now. What is going on? I don't think we can go to 4. We're playing against someone from my local store. Uh, I haven't actually met them, but I know they're from my local store because I met them through Max Gilmore. Ironically enough, they are also named Max. And we also have Max Carini here in chat. Bloodstained Mire. I don't know what that means. It's usually combo. Okay. Interesting. I think we're probably dead. Bloodstained Mire screams combo to me. It's a chance it's Painter too. I think it is. I think Max here is supposed to kill our turn one play. And as a general rule of thumb, you're supposed to bolt the bird. And I know some people think, oh, bolt the payout. I think you generally, that doesn't generally work out for you. So the question here is like, what do we get? Ooh. Why is this in our hand? We get collective. It's like okay, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. We have natural order next turn. Maybe that's our get out of jail card. I'm more mad at myself. I kept the awful hand. Oh my god. Then we're gonna lose this game. I think what attracts it out of our deck is it's kind of problematic. Sure. Sure. I think we fetch here. I can't even think of a scenario. Alright, this has to be endurance. Nope. Alright, we're just dead. The good thing is, I like how this matchup lines up post board. We had a lot of dead cards game one. That's really good. I think I like Agent. Actually, let me check my board. Do I even board an Agent against them? No, it looks like not actually. Fairy's pretty good. And then I guess I board out the lair in case they play they probably want to board in Magus against us. I used to board out all my snuff outs, but I realized they picked up on that and they started naming non-black, so it keeps some in, I guess. This hand's like really good. I think we fetch basic to play around the Magus first. Um, Endurance here is pretty good, I think. It enables turn 2 Atraxa, which I like. If they don't kill turn 1 Dork. Uh, it's also good in case they have like their welder shenanigans. Let's see what they do. Yeah, they kill that. That's fine. Jesus. Okay. Sure. That's pretty good. If opponent taps out next turn, sure. I'd probably go for the natural order if I need to evoke the endurance. They probably name Feed Artisan, I'd imagine. There's, I mean, the only options really are Artisan, Reclaimer, and Gris. I don't think they would name Gris on this board state, so it's almost in the dark. I think most people know this is like a Fiend Artisan deck. What else? Okay, they name Gris. Interesting. So they bring that in. The thing is, like, do we care? You draw 3 cards. So that comes in. I feel like we do it anyways here. I don't think we want this to come in. We can still potentially we can the fact that he got it means it's probably pretty bad. Okay. god. The fairy was pretty clutch there. I just need a land, please. Oh my god. We'll take 2. That works, I guess. Do they have anything at flash speed? Probably not. I can't imagine. Like, not playing around with that, I guess. Bowmasters is really just a hit Welder, but I don't know if they board out Welder. Yikes. It's just not one of those nights, I guess, now. Ugh, 1 turn too late. I think we need to start blocking the Fury. Because it's going to be a lot of damage. I guess we can trade? Well, no. I don't think we want to do that. Fetch land here does it. That's close, I guess. Wait, did they pitch 1 or 2? Oh, only 1. Now we have a chump block too, if need be. Sure. I don't think we block now. We got punished for blocking the previous turn, and unfortunately, we drew the green sun. Now we drew the green sun. There's the pitch we need. Just to count. Alright, that's exactly it. And then this should lock it up. Alright, we are back in the game here. Fiend, fetch. Fiend, fetch, snuff out probably. And then I don't think we get the other one, but I could be wrong. The crime punishment, what are we hitting here? 1? Or doesn't hit much, I guess. Although, no, I don't think it hits much of this. There's no saga. Maybe they boarded out. Who knows? I think natural order is pretty good here too. Actually, what am I? Oh my! I messed up. There's no hoof in the deck. What am I doing? That was a mistake. I don't know if it matters, but that was a mistake. If I block, what happens here? Do I just chump just to play it safe? I snuff out here. The Kiki is live. Don't think I can live. I can deal with that. I think it's safer to just chump. Actually, things might have changed. If they're playing Swords of Plowshares, maybe I'm supposed to leave in hoof. I didn't think about that, but that's like reasonable. So that's something to keep in mind. Because normally red can't deal with Atraxa. Like there's not enough damage for a 7/7, but maybe it's different because they have Swords of Plowshares. Ironically enough, maybe the natural order is supposed to get. Ironically enough, maybe the natural order is supposed to get Sylvan Safekeeper. I think we have to blow this up right now. That's actually, that works, I guess. I don't think there's an out, right? At least not with one card. Six. All right. I think we got to burn the hoof back in based on what we saw. The crime punishment not so great. I feel like they bored out Saga, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Gris, is that what we want in this matchup? I boarded this. I'm trying to think, what do we want here? Bowmasters didn't seem great, for what it's worth. It did chump for what that like mattered. Maybe I don't want this. It hits what, the shaman token, and that's about it, I think. I don't know if they boarded out Saga against us. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. If they don't, if they board out Saga, then this becomes kind of bad. Even if they don't board it out, maybe it's not worth it anyways. Let's try this. Oh, they went a 4. Wow. So opponent was surprised. I actually said it makes sense that we boarded out Hoof, but I just said usually attracts is enough. But obviously Swords of Plowshares can change the calculus on that. Sure. I think we bottom the hoof. So we want to once first because we know the hoof's on the bottom. And then here, we have 2 lands already. I think Chris is probably pretty good. Endurance, maybe not. I don't think we want a Reclaimer here. They're gonna loot anyway, so the Bowmaster's gonna be too slow. I think we play for the ceiling here. They're gonna attack us, and that's gonna be awkward already. And at some point, we'll probably have to deal with the level 3, right? Yeah, let's do that. Fable is incredibly powerful. I guess I'm stating the obvious here. Why is not? My commands are not working at the moment. Wow, that is a hell of a draw. I think we have to kill the Kiki right now. Ignore that. That is kind of scary. I think Furious right now. I guess we can just. Oh, man, maybe I'm supposed to just like live with one turn with Kiki. That's a scary proposition. We do have Safekeeper for what it's worth. It's the Green Mother runes. Let's see. I think. Oh, this is brutal. Because he can just copy it. Actually, I'll lose the hierarch. That's okay. No. I think I want to put all my lands back. I think the good thing is now I just like. The Kiki Jiki is like kind of obnoxious right now. Maybe I was supposed to have killed it when I had a chance. Sure. Oh, actually, that was a mistake. I should play around Bolt. Playing pretty poorly though, for what's more. They had to block the endurance here, which is interesting. Dead to Bolt. Pretty, pretty good game. I probably. So, Max here had fourth Aer Lingus, and they thought about going that over Fable. So I think it depends what they want to lose to, right? Obviously here, I think we just like run everything in, and then they can't block it all, right? I guess they could, but it's a little bit awkward. What am I gonna do now? It's 11:40. I think we'll just call it a night. We'll just end on a win here. I'm still mad at myself here for the. Let me see. What did I keep here? Game three. Yeah, I think you gotta mull this. Yeah, two three drops and an arbor. So already pretty shaky. The irony is the noble makes it a lot better, but then we lost to wasteland plus. Also, just the punting of the not pitching the endurance, but that's it is what it is. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Let's see who will raid here. Any recommendations? I'll go with that first. If there are none, here are my socials again. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. You guys and girls enjoyed the stream tonight. If I were to make a change, I don't think I would have changed it. I know we lost the cage. I also think we just played loose, fast and loose, on some of these losses. I think we slowed down a little bit. We probably pulled those out. Not my best showing today. I think it's interesting because we want this card for Sog, but it almost seemed like our opponent boarded it out. I don't know how they board. I feel like Sog is pretty good in the matchup, but if they're boarding in Magus, like, then sure it makes sense. The problem is, I don't know how I feel about boarding out lands if on any deck, but I mean, I'm not a painter expert, but it feels kind of shaky to me to board out lands. Maybe they didn't draw it. But that my guess would be if they boarded in Magus, they probably boarded out Saga. Maybe they're just flooded anyways. But if there are no recommendations, I'll just go ahead and raid 019. Alright, thank you everyone.